Greetings everyone, today I want to share with you some of my favorite Mothership modules from this fantastic, from this incredible RPG that has some of the best official and third-party content I've ever seen in a TTRPG. And we're going to look through all these modules. Not in depth, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of why I like each one of them and why you'd want to play any of them. They are so diverse and great and unique. Even if you're not a fan of horror, this game keeps you and your players at the edge of your seats, and I've had a blast every time I've run any of these. So let's go through them. The first module I want to look at today is Another Bug Hunt, which wasn't the first Mothership module ever released, but it is the new introductory adventure for Mothership. This has 3 short chapters and can easily be converted into a one-shot. But typically I found that this runs for like 2 to 5 sessions. It has 3 unique locations, one actually containing an actual alien mothership. This has all the cheesy alien and its derivatives tropes, classic sci-fi tropes, classic horror moments. I think this is probably my favorite introduction to the game personally. If you have a different one, let me know. My other favorite introduction to Mothership is this little, as they call it, a trifold pamphlet, The Haunting of Ypsilon 14. Very popular one. This is literally just 2 A4s that I've glued together after getting the PDF, and it folds like this, and it has enough info on here to run like a 3 to 4 hour session. I promise you, it has only the essential information. Little breakdown of NPCs' names and who they are. I really felt it was rich enough and well enough written that I could improvise the bits in between. This is also a classic sci-fi monster hunt adventure, and I think this, along with a lot of other of these trifold adventures, are really easy to pick up, really quick to read and prep for, and they were a ton of fun at my table. Next up, I want to look at what I think is the original Mothership module ever written. That's what AI told me, and we know we can't trust them. Well, that's kind of a theme in Mothership. I haven't actually played Dead Planet, but I've read through this in its entirety, and this also has some pretty twisted locations and moments, how your spaceships get sucked out of hyperspace, literally by this strange solar system containing this portal to another alien planet where life literally works in a different way, and they need life forms from our dimension to sacrifice or to sustain themselves. And this one is more hardcore, twisted horror with spaceship locations, an old necropolis on a planet. This one is a lot darker, but flavor-wise it seems great. I can't wait to run it. Maybe this is also a great introduction to the game. Let me know if this is one you have run. There is so much I can say about the following module. This is A Pound of Flesh. This is one of the best sandbox adventures I've ever seen. And there's a reason why the latest crowdfunding campaign that I mentioned here is actually expanding this universe and providing a whole campaign setting for A Pound of Flesh, which is set on a like cyberpunky space station with lots of different factions and events that transpire if you fantastic artwork. Events that transpire if the players do nothing. There are kind of 3 different main plots, and they can intersect and overlap in very interesting ways. There's a sinister entity growing in power in the tunnels deep beneath the old city. Good Lord, this has so much flavor and interesting ideas. No one's campaigns will play out exactly the same way with Pound of Flesh. If you want to run a slightly longer campaign, I think this has at least 10 sessions in it easily, and you can probably stretch that to 20. There is just so much here. This didn't come with the core box set, but I would either back the new greater campaign setting or get A Pound of Flesh. I cannot recommend this one enough. This is one of the best modules for any game I've ever played, and I have a lot back there. Another kind of mini campaign that I can definitely recommend, especially if you like dungeon crawls, is this guy, Gradient Descent. This is what they call a mega dungeon, and you cannot maybe see perfectly there, but all of those little boxes are separate rooms, and it is extremely detailed and extremely twisted. I went full Garth Marenghi there. This is set on an abandoned space station where a super intelligent AI is busy evolving the android life in there and slowly altering, almost terraforming it with its alien intelligence. The players start doubting what is real and what is not inside this strange, almost surreal landscape where the lines between life and artificial life is completely starting to blur the deeper you go into this twisted facility. Oh man, this is one of the best dungeon crawls I've ever seen. If you like that sort of twisted sci-fi, I thought it was flavorful and interesting, and the players just get creeped out in a good way. You can see from the artwork there. I'm getting giddy just thinking about this. If you want a change of pace or want to do some dungeon crawling, Gradient Descent is a fantastic option. If you don't want to do a long campaign and just want to do one evening's worth of dungeon crawling, I think it could probably work really well to just go through this, pick a couple of your favorite rooms, stitch them together in a different configuration, and have your players do a 5-room dungeon. Why not? Fantastic module. If you want to run a time travel adventure in a TTRPG, look no further, run this guy, Time After Time. I cannot do this justice in like even 10 minutes talking about this because it's so complicated. There are 3 different timelines color-coded in this book. And players have control over past, present, and future, and they have to reconcile those plot threads together. Players can even sometimes materialize something instantly in the present, like saying, oh, under these floorboards we hid a gun in the past. And then when they eventually go back to the past, because they're time jumping a lot, now they have to make a check mark and do some bookkeeping about, oh, we have to now in the past go put those guns under the floorboards so our future selves from there can find it. But sometimes there would be paradoxes, right? Because an NPC, you did something to them, but they were meant to survive in the future. And this game retaliates when you mess with space-time that could, warp you out of existence. Players are going to sit down and discuss time travel and try and reconcile these plot threads more than they are perhaps going to roleplay. So if you don't want an deep academic philosophical debate on time travel and what they can and can't do, then maybe this one isn't for you. But if you want a role-playing session that really goes to that next level, where players really have to almost craft their own world and make time make sense, then 100% play Time After Time. What a unique adventure. It will be unforgettable if you can pull it off. Definitely a hard one to GM. Do not start here, but definitely check this out at some point. Next up is the fantastic, almost mandatory anthology of adventures and other supplementary info for Mothership here in Hullbreach, which is a quite beefy addition to the game. Now, this is too much for me to cover in one video, but 2 adventures that are actually quite short and nice and can be great one-shots, 1 or 2 shots for your sessions is firstly Vibechette, which you might have seen some playthroughs of. There are some great ones online. This is a classic slasher film where everyone plays like these very rich, spoiled teenagers who want to go do drugs in an abandoned facility somewhere, and this mutant failed experiment slasher kind of goes after them. Fantastic, great way to also introduce people to the game, and if you like slasher films, Vibechette is great. One of my favorite Mothership adventures that I've ever run has been Roadwork inside this Hullbreach, it's called. Hullbreach collection here. This is all set on the same spaceship, and the adventure starts when one of the scientists turn on this hyperdrive. And the moment he wants to activate it, someone who looks exactly like him walks in, shoots him, and reality collapses in on itself. From there, it only gets weirder. Certain triggers will make the spaceship jump between dimensions, and every time it does a dimensional jump, the laws of physics and reality and the very fabric of the spaceship itself fundamentally changes. Maybe the atmosphere is all water. Maybe the walls are made out of wood. Maybe the personalities of the crew just become fundamentally different, or everyone looks like clones or pets. This had some of the most fun, crazy shenanigans in any of the sessions I've ever had, and this was probably the funniest Mothership module I've ever run. I would really recommend Roadwork. It is going to be one of the most unique adventures that you've ever played. Next one is also set on a spaceship, but don't let that let you think that's not a sentence, that it is similar to any of the others I've shown, because this is warped beyond recognition, and this is about what happens when an evil corporation experiments on teenagers to give them psychic abilities, but that backfires badly as they become some of the most terrifying monsters you've ever met, and they can also manipulate reality in different ways. So this is kind of like a classic dungeon crawl through this spaceship, and as you interact and find these kids, each of them is its own unique monstrosity that you need to placate in their own ways and try and figure out how they work. They also twist reality in interesting and weird ways. It feels more like a classic alien adventure, except they are humans and the real monsters are the corporations, so it's a bit of corporate horror as well. But this is a really fun 1 or 2 shot. Definitely also check out Warp Beyond Recognition. And for the home stretch, I want to show you 2 different mini campaign settings by Joel Hines here, and I absolutely love these. This is set in a shared universe. The first one written was The Desert Moon of Karth, which is like very, very space western. Think Brave Star or Firefly or Cowboy Bebop. It has a lot of inspiration from that. Lots of little factions vying for control, some cool cities, and some aliens that are worshipped, although they are underground and quite unknown. Sand squids and pirates and bandits and strange aliens, and an entire mini moon to go and explore and charter out. This is great for when you just want a little bit of different flavor with your mothership. Maybe just bring in some Western elements. Maybe the characters are on shore leave, or they stumble upon this moon and they try and exploit it for its riches, or try and or ally with one of the factions and try and stop one of the bad ones taking over. This is so many interesting NPCs and factions and what they want and what work you can do for them and how they can be stopped. This doesn't tell you an exact story, which I also absolutely love. It's more that OSR style of like, this gives you flavorful NPCs and locations and items, and you can stitch together a million different interesting stories in this. Set in the same universe as Desert Moon of Karth, this is the Tide World of Mani. This, again, has inspiration from Waterworld and a few other, I forgot now. I watch Waterworld, I didn't watch any of the others, but sci-fi Waterworld where the entire planet is just water, but there is one big floating city, and there's lots of unrest and different religious factions that pray to the water spirits and the gods that are vying for control. There's an old baron that's been kept alive artificially. I have not run this yet, but the flavor seems fantastic. There's little dungeons. There's again a big open world map. This is a sandbox adventure that gives you locations, flavorful, interesting NPCs and what they want, and you can just so easily prep for your next session by just grabbing a page or 2, taking a weird location, generate a random NPC. I absolutely love these, and I can't wait to run it. Thanks for watching all the way, everyone. We had a look at so many exciting Mothership modules. I'm going to reiterate, even though this isn't even my favorite genre in the world, I think Mothership and the variety of the ideas set in these make it so that every time I tell people, oh, we're going to play Mothership, they don't know what to expect. They know they're going to be stressed, there will be an element of horror. Maybe that's granted. But how to deal with the threats, what the NPCs want, what the setting will be. Such fantastic variety. I want to thank everyone who made this great game and all these third-party people that have written such fantastic modules. I hope you guys are convinced. I'm not getting paid by them, but I think you should just give them your money and I will keep playing and buying Mothership for a very long time. What a great game. Anyways, hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching this far. Please comment, like or sub or whatever. That'll make me very happy. Hope you all have a great day. Cheerio.